Hey, how you doing? It's your man Phil Williams. Phil Williams Show. Wow. United for Freedom. You might see it as the hashtag UFF, but that stands for United for Freedom. And wow. Wow. It's been an interesting Memorial Day. You know, being a soldier, I feel like they were trying to make me a casualty. It was kind of funny. There's a lot of soldiers out there. My friend Lita Whitener. How you doing, Lita? You know I got your back. Bill Blood, Chris Zeller, Gary Blackman, everybody at United for Freedom. You know I got your black. Got your black. Play on words. Got your back. You know that. Lisa, everybody. I mean, I start naming names and I start forgetting people, so I apologize. You guys know. But this is what I want to talk to you today. I want to talk to you about today. How easy it is to be deceived on social media. How easy it is to be deceived. Now, I'm going to use Ted Cruz because Ted Cruz, outside of Donald Trump, has some of the most vicious people coming out in his name. But I want to use Ted Cruz, and it's not talking bad about Ted Cruz. So for everybody that kind of wants to go there, stop it right now. But I'm using him as an example. But here's my point. On social media, it takes absolutely nothing for somebody to come out, create a page, and say, I love Ted Cruz. And at the speed of light, get 10,000 people in their group. 20,000 people in their group, 1,000 people in their group. That's all it took. I love Ted Cruz. Bam. Instant group. Am I lying? No, I'm not, and you know it. Even though I'm using Ted Cruz, this can apply to any of your favorite candidates. But that's all it took. I'm a Ted Cruz supporter. How are you going to know they're not? It's social media. Create a thumbnail, put Ted Cruz, Heidi Cruz, and their kids on there, and you're in if you're a Ted Cruz supporter. That's it. Easy peasy. That's it. Now, it's easy for somebody to say, I fund Ted Cruz. I put money into Ted Cruz campaign. So easy to do on social media. How can you prove that they didn't? Did it show you the canceled check? Did it show you the bank statement? No. He just said, I support Ted Cruz's campaign. Boom. You're instantly deceived just by a statement. But how do you know they really support Ted Cruz? How do you know? How can you tell? Oh, they support Ted Cruz because, what? They defend Ted Cruz. Oh, that's all it took to know that they are a true Ted Cruz supporter. Somebody says something bad about Ted Cruz, they come to Ted Cruz's defense. That's all it took. Facebook page, I like Ted Cruz, defend him a couple times, and boom, you believe it. But how can you tell? A true Ted Cruz supporter would take on the characteristics that Ted Cruz stood for. Whatever instructions Ted Cruz would give, they would adhere to it. They would tend to have the same values as Ted Cruz. Here is how you are being deceived, and I'm going to show you how to uncover it. Don't trust that they say they're Ted Cruz followers. Don't trust that they put their little Ted Cruz little flame on their little picture. Don't trust all that stuff. Look at the values that they represent and see if they match up with Ted Cruz. And like I said, I'm using Ted Cruz, but this can apply to anybody. There are some people out there that has proven to me that they are Democrats. They are Democrats. And they're out to sabotage Ted Cruz's voter base in Ted Cruz's name. What do I mean by that? We are a divided country. This country is divided. Let's just say it's 50-50. In order for Ted Cruz to be the president, in order for Ted Cruz to win, he has to attract some of that other 50% over to him. This is the reason why the RNC made the decision not to support Ted Cruz. Once Reince Priebus and the RNC and the Republicans decided that winning the White House at all costs was the flavor du jour, once they decided that, Ted Cruz was no longer the person that they wanted. They didn't care about true conservatives because in their mind, once they made that decision, the recipe to get the White House was crossover voters. Getting Democrats, liberals, progressives, socialists, whatever, to cross over to the Republican side. Ted Cruz was not their guy. Might have been our guy. Might have been your guy from day one. He was my guy from day 3. But once the RNC decided that, Ted Cruz was not going to win the presidency. They want crossover votes. Donald Trump was the one that they seen would get the crossover votes. Why? Because he was a lifelong liberal. So Democrats were already used to him. The country's already been fundamentally transformed like Obama promised. And he was a reality TV show host, so we got those people to come over. But all the Republicans needed was conservatives, so they got the media, Fox News, Rush Limbaugh, Sean the Shucky Ducky, and everybody to give Donald Trump his conservative chops, his conservative credibility. But in order to give Donald Trump his conservative credibility, they had to discredit everybody that was conservative. Ted Cruz, again, is in their crosshairs. Rush Limbaugh's, he did this thing of straddling the fence. No, I'm a talk show host. I'm not endorsing anybody. I've never endorsed anybody. In between my formerly nicotine-stained fingers is proof positive that I never endorsed anybody. While he was smashing Ted Cruz. No, what do you mean? You guys are getting me wrong. Hold on. Read the book. Rush Revere. Remember? You like me. Remember? I'm a conservative. I'm against Hillary. I'm against Bill. No. You guys got me wrong. While he's smashing Ted Cruz. And explaining everything this lifelong liberal is doing so that he can have conservative credibility because you have been deceived by Rush Limbaugh. All it took for him was to say, what? I hate Hillary. I hate Bill. And then you guys flocked to him. But he proved to you through Donald Trump that he deceived you. Same thing with Sean Hannity. Same thing. All of Fox News. How easy it is that you can be deceived. So now, Ted Cruz was not going to win the presidency because he had all these decks stacked against him. Now, there are these two people that I'm going to really highlight on Facebook. The one lady's name is Diana Billingsley. Yeah, you might have seen her. She's the one that looks like she got a Tammy Faye Baker starter kit going on in there. She thinks she's some kind of supermodel, but she looks like Honey Boo Boo's mama. Yeah, her. How do I know she's a Democrat? Because she's from Arkansas, and she's making sure Ted Cruz, the voter base that it takes for him to win nationally, she's making sure she sabotages them. In the name of supporting Ted Cruz. Yeah, she's the one, you know, the redhead, flaming redhead with all the makeup on, and she sits there in her little pictures, like I said, looking like a broke Tammy Faye Baker. Her. In the defense of Ted Cruz, she's calling people bitches and hoes and sluts and cunts. Yes, I'm saying these words. I apologize if your kid is listening to this, but I have to prove a point. She's a Democrat trying to turn off potential Cruz voters in the name of Cruz. Don't forget, all it took for her to get followers to say, I love Ted Cruz. See the little symbol next to my picture? Look at me defend him. But she's not doing a damn thing Ted Cruz said to do. What? Hold him accountable. So anybody that comes out like Alita Whitener, like myself, like my man Andrew P. Gonzalo, P. People like that, when they come out and defend, or more so hold Ted accountable like he asked to be, then here comes Tammy Fake Baker cussing people out. Getting their little clique. I don't know who the heck they are. They look like a bunch of porcelain dolls. I don't know. But getting their little clique together and dogging out American people in Ted Cruz's name. And you're going to follow that. Do you think that's going to help Ted Cruz? No, it's not. It's going to turn people off. In Ted Cruz's name, guess what? Diane Billingsley or Diane Duffy or whatever name she wants to hide behind, Fake Baker, now sabotages Ted Cruz's national thing. Why? Because she's this Democrat chick from Arkansas that all she had to do was get on social media, say a couple cool Cruz things, and you Cruz people got deceived and came to her. And then you get even tricked into defending her ridiculousness in the name of Cruz. And you think that's going to win people over. Ted Cruz needs as many votes as he possibly can get. Ted Cruz is not perfect. People like Lita, myself, Andrew, they point these things out. They have a desire for Ted Cruz to win. They just want him to be held accountable like he asked. And he needs to know this. But what Ted Cruz is going to know, and because you guys don't understand who the heck I am, Miss Billingsley, or maybe you do, because that's why you're so hard on me. Ted Cruz knows who you are, and he does not support you. So all you Ted Cruz supporters out there, don't say trust me, because Donald Trump said that and brought trust me into a whole bad word. Ted Cruz does not support you. He does not support your tactics. He does not support your antics. If he wants to be the president of the United States, you, Miss Tammy Fake Baker, is ruining that for him. Why? Because you're a Democrat. You found a cool place to hide in social media. You said, I love Cruz. People came into your little freaking stupid group. And then now you and your little pack of hyenas run around dogging people, cussing them out, calling them out their name in the name of Ted Cruz. That's not going to win him anything. That's going to help him lose, and only a Democrat would do that. You're a fake. You are a fake, honey boo boo mama. On a local level, Tara Brinkley, that's the other Democrat, did the same thing. I support Ted Cruz. How do you know? But here's where her danger is. She's in Texas, so she messes up Ted Cruz's 2018 in Ted Cruz's name. Why? Because people doing what Ted Cruz asked to be done, hold him accountable, they have a problem, they have an issue. She's not doing anything to win those Texas people over to Ted Cruz. She's turning people off. She deceived you. She's a freaking liberal Democrat. Turning off potential Cruz voters. The people in Texas that matter for 2018. I don't matter in 2018. I don't matter. I matter in 2020. But the people in Texas that live where Tara is, her job is to sabotage them. I'm sticking up for Cruz. And you Cruz supporters go, Tara Brinkley, I got to defend her. No, she's offending people that have a legitimate complaint. Why? Because Ted Cruz is a conservative that believes in the Constitution, and he believes in these people's fundamental right to hold their politicians accountable. And Tara Brinkley, probably shaped like a Brinks truck, is dogging people out. That's doing exactly what Ted Cruz said. See, she doesn't represent Ted Cruz, but she's hiding behind Ted Cruz. She's sabotaging his Texas base. So when there's people that's saying like this, Ted, I don't like what you're doing with Trump. I don't like that. She's cussing them out and calling them out their name with her little pack of hyenas. That's not helping Cruz in Texas. You have to watch how you defend your politician. Because your politician that needs to win needs to have as less people as possible being offended by him. And since he doesn't get a chance to talk and chime in all these Facebook groups, you are the one that represents that person. How is he going to win if you keep offending people in the name of defense? Ted Cruz did not ask for that. So in my opinion, you're a Democrat. Just like Trump supporters are Democrats. They're destroying the right. And you're destroying Ted Cruz's voter base. But that's okay. I got Ted's ear. Oh, you thought Tara did. Oh, you thought Tammy Fake Baker did. No, Phil Williams does. Because I'm a true conservative. Doing exactly what Ted Cruz asked for. Hold him accountable. He's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. Yes, he did something to rip true Ted Cruz supporters like Lita Whitener's heart out. When watching this orange dude smash his family. To some of us, it's not good enough to say, I pledge. We don't look at him as breaking his word on what he pledged when this orange demigod comes out there and treats Ted Cruz's family like they're freaking demons. We don't look at it that way. We look at that as standing on principle. I'll give you an example. What if the people said, we agree to keep slavery going because they thought it was just an economic thing. But then they seen these slaves being mistreated and they went back on their agreement. Are you that kind of person that said, well, you should have kept the slaves because you signed your name on a piece of paper? Or are you that person that says you've seen something humanity was suffering with and you changed your mind once you got more facts? Thank you. Point taken. Just because somebody commits to something, when they see something that can hurt America, we as true conservatives are not mad at Ted Cruz because he went back on some kind of thing and he put principle over party and put his family over a personality. So if Ted Cruz made that mistake, we can forgive him. But we don't need some Democrats cussing us out in the name of Ted Cruz and think that we're going to stay his supporters. Think about it, people. Tammy Fake Baker and the Terror Dome and their little clique of hyenas are Democrats, people. Turning off potential Ted Cruz votes. Votes win, not Facebook groups. But Facebook groups have the ability to help people understand and be Americans like Ted Cruz asked. We have a constitutionally protected right. It's a must for our freedom to have a dissenting point of view against our leaders, even that we love and care about, because it's supposed to be country over personality, period. Ted Cruz asked for that. Ted Cruz did not win because the RNC didn't want him. They wanted Democrats. And the two that I highlighted, they are Democrats. It's going to make sure that you don't want Ted Cruz. Hey, Tammy Fake Baker, appreciate you. And all you guys' little hit and run tactics, you're messing with the wrong person. And watch when Ted Cruz come and tell you yourself. You're being deceived, people. Get out of those people's groups. Or if you stay in there, understand who's talking to you. They're Democrats. Hey, Lita, love you. Everybody united for freedom. Hey, and check out, man, do some research on the Federalist Party. Do some research on the Federalist Party. I'm telling you, I think you'll like what you see. I'm Phil Williams. See you, Tammy Fake Baker.